A drugs boss set up shops on the dark web named Vanilla Surf, Gov UK and Stacks to peddle quantities of cocaine across England and the rest of Europe. Andrew Moores was 37, lived in Manchester city centre, and he played a leading role in a gang which trafficked drugs worth millions, including cocaine, ketamine, amphetamine, ecstasy and cannabis, via the internet using encrypted EncroChat mobile phones. His gang included Moore's bookkeeper Paul Gregory, who's 39, and distributor Austin Ozzy Beckett, who was 31 years old, and they operated with virtual anonymity. They all used EncroChat mobile phones, dubbed the WhatsApp for criminals, as part of a determined effort to avoid detection, and traded in Bitcoin and other crypto. But as we all know, the EncroChat server in France was brought down by undercover police officers across Europe. And yesterday Moores was locked up for 16 years and 6 months, while Gregory was handed a sentence of 14 years and 4 months, and Beckett was handed a sentence of 11 years and 3 months. There was another gang member said to be higher up the chain than Moores, named in court as Casey Miller, and he's wanted by police and is thought to be not in the country. A police drugs expert said around 20 kilos of cocaine is said to have been dealt by the gang and could have been worth up to £2 million on the street. There was ketamine estimated to be worth £2 million and amphetamine valued at around £300,000, which was also linked to the gang. So police had previously tried to arrest Moores in Manchester, but when they went to his apartment, he wasn't there. Detectives, however, got their man after being alerted that he had checked in for a flight bound for Dubai from Manchester in January last year. Among the items seized from him were personalised bathrobes, flannels, and with slippers which had Morsey written all over them. He claimed he had every intention of coming back to the UK as he had bought a return ticket and claimed he was going to Dubai as there was no lockdown in force there. But the police investigation established that Morsey, who used the EncroChat handle Toxic Jaguar, oversaw a huge continent-wide drugs operation running the dark web drug supply shops called Vanilla Surf Stacks and Gov UK. The prosecutor William Beardsmore told the Crown Court in Manchester the span of this conspiracy was the length and breadth of England and Wales and the length and breadth of the European continent. Over a 22-month period, one cryptocurrency wallet alone, which police recovered, had made transactions worth almost £3 million. Gregory and Beckett were paid by Moores and were involved in day-to-day operations, the court heard. Gregory, who adopted the name Matt Soda on EncroChat, received a substantial wage and was also given bonuses. At one point, Gregory was arrested for an unrelated matter when he was driving a Land Rover, and he told police he was working as a stockbroker working in the field of cryptocurrency. He said to the cops, "I can win a lot of money and lose a lot of money as well." Beckett was known as Real Cake on the encrypted network, and he ran the gang's distribution centre. Police made another key breakthrough by chance after going to a house in Hazel Grove to arrest someone unconnected with the gang. Beckett saw the officers and panicked, thinking they were coming for him. He moved a suitcase from his flat to a neighbour's, but unluckily for Beckett, it was the neighbour who police were actually interested in. The suitcase was stuffed with a large quantity of drugs, including high-purity cocaine, as well as scales and other drug paraphernalia. Undercover officers working to expose dealers on the dark web made test purchases of the drugs. One package of ecstasy tablets had Gregory's DNA on it. So the defence for Moores, Adam Watkins, said the defendant had plans to go straight and has ambitions of a career in software development. Beckett was a paid employee in the gang and became involved after he lost his job as an electrician, his barrister said. And the defence of Gregory said the defendant was not involved in every facet of the operation. The judge told the trio that each played an integral role in the plot. Judge Potter said, "In my judgment, each defendant understood the conspiracies they were part of, which had little complexity to them other than the way in which each conspiracy operated to supply large amounts of Class A and B drugs across the UK and Europe." He added for a significant period of 2 years, between 2019 and 2021, an organised crime group headed by you, Andrew Moores, and another man, Casey Miller, who remains at large, was responsible for supplying vast quantities of Class A and B drugs throughout England, Wales and Europe. The drugs were acquired by the organised crime group using encrypted mobile phones from bulk suppliers, and then sold on by this group via 3 shops established on the network. He noted at the height of the operation, drugs worth around £45,000 were being trafficked every day. The judge said on any view this is drug dealing on an industrial and commercial scale. The court heard Moores had 14 previous convictions and had served time for 2 drug supply offences. Gregory had 5 previous convictions and had also served time for supplying cannabis, and Beckett had no previous offences to his name. At the time, a number of searches were carried out at properties across Manchester where police recovered drugs, cash, computers, a Rolex watch, encrypted mobile phones, and cryptocurrency. Detectives estimated the gang earned more than £3 million, which they laundered using cryptocurrency by buying luxury watches and vehicles. After the hearing, Detective Inspector Chris McClellan said this was a complex investigation which involved several law enforcement agencies working together to bring down a crime group which was making substantial amounts of money supplying drugs internationally online. Their guilty plea is a result of the overwhelming evidence which was put in front of them, leaving them no option but to plead guilty. We're committed to continuing to work with our partners to identify, disrupt and dismantle criminals causing misery and harm to our communities with their illegal drugs trade. The 3 men face a Proceeds of Crime Act later this year when prosecutors will seek to claw back their ill-gotten gains. There's a story coming from the Northwest. Let me know what you think. It's your boy GT. Keep it locked, keep it real.